Hey guys, Cal Kellogg here. Well, Lucy and I had the opportunity to visit French Meadows Reservoir on June 25th. Despite the fact that I was going to be battling an apex full moon, my expectations were running pretty high. I'd been chomping at the bit to get up into the high country. For the past couple weeks, we've had a lot of wind and I just wasn't able to get up there. So when I saw the wind forecast was, pretty moderate, especially in the morning, I loaded up the truck and we were on the way. Unfortunately, we started having trouble right away, first thing in the morning. I lost the microphone system on my first camera and I was forced to record sound on my secondary camera, which isn't optimum, but it's doable. After that, the fishing proved to be very challenging. We fished really hard, but in the end, it was probably the slowest day I've ever had on French Meadows Reservoir. I did get to record some of my thoughts about fishing during a full moon, because let's face it, sometimes you have to fish during a full moon or not fish at all. I'm going to close for now. I hope these observations that I made out on the water about the challenges of fishing during a full moon help you out in the future. And I hope to join you here real soon on YouTube when I'm actually catching some big bad trout. And hopefully here in the very near future, you'll get to hear me yell "fish on" several times, because I am ready to catch some fish. And Lucy, well, she's always ready to go big. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube. Woo. Wow, that was a strike and a half. Wow, that was crazy. Howdy guys, Cal Kellogg here. I'm up at French Meadows Reservoir. I know this lake very well. It's late June and conditions have been absolutely perfect all morning. I've had chop. Surface temperature 65 degrees. Water clarity very good, and I'm marking a lot of fish, but I've yet to put a fish in the kayak, and I've been trolling for about 3 hours. Why? I'm fighting a giant full moon. Last night was an apex full moon. The moon was up all night long. In fact, it was still up high in the sky when I got here around dawn this morning, and it has put the fish in a funk. Now, most trout anglers know that a full moon can put a trout bite into a funk. So why am I here? Well, I'll tell you why I'm here. I've had extremely strong winds in the Sierras. I've been itching to get up here. And of course, the day when the winds relent, I've got that apex full moon to deal with. But bottom line is, I wasn't gonna stay home and do chores. I had the conditions to fish, and I figured I'm gonna go up to French Meadows for the first time this season, and I'm gonna make the most of it. Now, if you find yourself in my shoes, what can you do to deal with the effects of a full moon? So here's kind of the global thing about the full moon. It affects some lakes more than others. Sometimes it doesn't have a real big effect, but other times, like today, it has a profound effect on the action. And there's some lakes that the full moon affects more than others. Eagle Lake is notoriously tough during a full moon, whereas if you're over at Shasta, a full moon doesn't have much effect at all. Typically, the valley fisheries are more moon resistant than the high Sierra stuff, but that's just kind of generalizing. Another generalization that you can sometimes count on is to have a spurt of activity around midday, say between 11 o'clock and 1 on a full moon day. It can be slow all morning, slow and difficult all morning, and then all of a sudden midday you'll get a little action. The other thing up here in the high country that can spur some action is an insect hatch, and I was hoping that was going to be the case today. I started seeing the midges come off the water about an hour ago, and I noticed some larger mayflies come off, but I only saw 2 fish on the surface. So it did get a couple fish, excited, but by and large, that hatch did not get the bite going. If you find yourself in this situation, just work the program. The program we teach here on the channel is start off the day big, bold, and fast, and then gradually downsize and slow down. It's like peeling away the layers of an onion, and that's exactly what I've been doing here this morning. I started out with 2 speed spoons, a black chrome speed spoon at 15 feet, an orange and chrome at 5 feet. The black chrome got hit right away, one hit, I hooked the fish for just a couple seconds and he was gone. So he just nipped at it. That's the only bite I've had. Since then, I've tried trigger spoons, I've tried pinheads. Now I'm pulling a pair of Trigger Spoon Juniors, one in Tui Chub down here at about 18 feet, and one in a metallic color like a hammered gold, I think, here at about 10 feet deep. I haven't had any action on those. I've been trolling those for about 40 minutes. I do have natural bait, I have night crawlers, I have some shrimp, and that is the next stop. If I can't get them to go on spoons, I'm gonna break out the soft stuff. I might try a grub. I'm definitely gonna try a worm and stuff like that. Bottom line is, you approach a full moon day just like you approach any other day, but just know you might be up against the wall. It might be very challenging, but I don't think it's a reason to stay home. I anticipated tough fishing today, and man, I was right. But if I get into them, it's gonna be very satisfying. So again, if you're out here, work the program, pay attention to the environment, pay attention to the details, pay attention to the fish on your sonar unit. All the fish I've marked so far today have been stuck on the bottom, and that tells me they're inactive. If I start seeing fish moving up in the water column, it's telling me that they are getting active, and I could probably get them to go on spoons, maybe on flies, stuff like that. Anyway, I hope that helps you if you find yourself out on a full moon day and you're struggling to get bit. It's frustrating if that's the only day you can fish. You get out there, conditions look great and the fishing's tough, but that's part of the game. Fishermen have to overcome environmental challenges, things like the full moon, wind, rain, all that kind of stuff. Fish hard. I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube. I'm Kel Kellogg, and if you're looking for gear, get on over to fishhuntshoot.com. Thanks a lot, guys. Watch out for that full moon. It's a toughie. It's a tough nut to crack.